Hey guys, it's Derek Everitt and Adam Beesley from the Deathpiles and Taxes podcast that you're listening to right now.
Your favorite accountant, I know. It's the greatest thing in the whole world.
A lot of you have been asking what you can do to help the podcast out, and seriously, all we want is a review.
Yeah.
Hopefully it's a 5-star review, but if not, be fair, at least a 4.
We know you're listening. Like I said, we see the numbers. We're all over the world. Like I said, it's just we see it. We appreciate everyone listening. Help us get a little higher up there. Help us get more new
Helps
listeners.
with the algorithms. People can help find us out, and it really does help. So if you can go to Apple iTunes, that's where a lot of you are already listening, or wherever you're listening.
Spotify, Apple's, all of these different things. They're all out.
Wherever you listen, give us you don't even have to write a review, just give us 5 stars. If you want to give us a review, that's cool too. We appreciate it, and keep listening.
Thanks for listening, guys.
Here comes the money. Here comes the money. Money, 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 money. Money, 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 money. Money, 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 money.
Well, that could be exciting, Adam, but nowhere near as exciting as the people are right here, right now, listening to Deathpiles and Taxes, episode number 125.
I love it. It's tax season. A lot of people say, "What do you got that cool recording stuff over there?" And I said, "Oh, I got a podcast." Really? I said, "Yeah, I've been doing it for 2 years." So
And how many of them download and listen afterwards?
exactly. That's what I told him. I did have a client that came in today. Didn't bring it up at all. He said, "Hey, I've been listening to your podcast." So
Here's what you do. Now, this is fully Derek fundable. You tell them, next year, if you come in and show a 5-star review that you've been listening to the podcast, I'll give you 10% off your services.
I thought you were going to bring out some big dollars.
No, I've got big kind of money. Some of these dollars that you do, that's quite a bit.
We're going to find out on Saturday when we do your taxes.
Yeah, that's going to be the day of reckoning.
Yes.
I mean, in general, most of them will forget about it, and then they'll went home and, done the review and stuff. The next year they'll say, "Oh, I forgot." You'll say, "Yeah, we'll get you on the next year." You're struggling there. That was like a linger.
I was just enjoying that Diet Deuce on a good
I got me the watermelon light body armor. 20 calories in that bottle.
You hit the diet again?
I haven't had a drink, a caffeinated drink since November.
No wonder you're in such a bad mood.
Tell me about it. No, I'm on one of those things where if I tell myself I can't or I won't, then I won't.
Oh.
But if I think, well, I have the option, I'm just choosing not to, then it's my choice.
Gotcha. I totally understand.
So tomorrow I want a Diet Dew, I go get me a Diet Dew.
It is
That's
icy.
right now I have it.
It's icy cold frosty right now. It is amazing.
It's amazing, but so is watermelon.
Yes, it
It
is.
tastes like watermelon.
Love that watermelon.
Speaking of which, before we get going too far, Adam,
Uh-oh.
too far, you told me come over at 7:15. I came over. I'm always a little early. I'm always in the neighborhood,
It's true,
cruising around. I decided to go over to the Walgreens and get myself a watermelon drink. And while I was there, I saw the some sort of coconut water was $4, and it was on clearance for 50 cents.
Okay.
So you know me, I think, well, man, if I like me some coconut water, I'd be loading up. And I thought, I wonder if that sells on eBay. And it doesn't really, because it's in this weird, almost like a milk carton.
Okay.
But then I got looking, and they had peach bread bowls.
Oh, peach Red Bull.
Peach Red Bulls. And I thought, I've never really seen that or noticed that before.
Okay.
So I take out the phone, I do a little scan. Hopefully this is a Bolo. I got a Bolo. I don't know.
Bolo.
I picked up 6 cases of them because they were going for a good amount and they were on sale over there. So once again, I'd like to thank you for getting me over here in the neighborhood across the street from you with a little time to kill, scan some stuff. And that's going to be my hot tip of the week. Like, no matter where you are, no matter what you're doing, you're going to be in a store, you're going to be somewhere, and you're going to have 5 to 10 minutes, right?
Yes.
Now, most stores will do you a favor of if something's discontinued or on clearance, it puts a big sign on it that says, discontinued or clearance. And the problem is when we go to like a Walmart or a Target and we find the clearance section, every Walmart in the country has the same stuff on clearance, so everybody's finding it. So
True.
you got, some things yes, some things no. Do yourself a service. Do your little search, do a sold, see what's going. I might be, these are just going to go out in the garage by the tab. I mean, I'm going to have me, if nothing else, we're going to have us a fun summer party or something, but I'll have the drinks.
House of Pop might get you a deal.
House of Pop might be coming to my house, but no, but I mean, you never know what you're going to find. There's, toy section. I was really going hoping to find some cards. We've been all about that, but I know people listen that aren't into cards. They just like reselling and stuff, and we haven't forgot about you. I'm trying to work on a few guests that are not so card heavy, but also what we do with the cards is the same process, whether you're selling, a Diet Red Bull or you're selling a Joe Namath rookie card. It's the same process.
Buy low, sell high. That's the name of the game.
That's the goal. Some people aren't doing that so well.
And in the meantime, make sure you spend plenty of money on travel and expenses and do your thing.
We'll see how good you are to me when I do my taxes. If you're going to let me. There wasn't a whole lot of travel this year, so not much to expense out. Let's be honest.
Good news, your boy, my boy, $100 Bill will be in the house tomorrow getting us some taxes.
We should have. Why don't we correlate this with him having to be a guest on the show?
I didn't realize it until you were talking.
That's what we should have done.
$100
That's
Bill.
the guy we need to talk about.
Yeah.
He has some interesting. Are you friends with him on the social medias?
I am not.
The guy is. He's at some cool places.
Mover and shaker.
He's taking some cool pictures. Is he retired?
I believe he hit the retirement button.
It looks like it. He's out goofing off, having a good time. He shows you pictures of his office every morning, and it's usually a national park or a scenic view.
I'm gonna have to check it out because I know he's moving down to Peru. He was going to P-Town.
He was talking about. I don't know if he's done it or not, but
we'll find out tomorrow.
The group. He's somebody that we met up with our eBay.
Our eBay group.
Our eBay group.
eBay seller group.
And they haven't had a meeting in well over a year. Well, they've done some virtual. I haven't been on the virtual.
Doesn't count if it's virtual.
Adam doesn't. Well, that's not what you're. Never mind. But I did that out.
Wow. Wow. Easy there, buddy.
Yeah. And I let slide, so that could have been something.
You let a lot slide.
Well, any feedback on old Adam West last week?
Batman killed it. I love it, man. That kid, he was on fire. He gave some great information. I don't know, like I said, you're going to say, oh, great. Do not leave without that Anthony, what's his name, card.
Oh, Anthony, what's his face?
Yes, that one guy.
Anthony.
Yeah, Anthony, who's like, I don't know.
Anthony Edwards.
Yeah, that's the guy. I've got the card. I want to give it to you.
You want to say how you procured this card?
I will say I procured this card. We talked about, which that's the other guy we need to follow up with is our boy old Phil.
Phil, we have therapy sessions, and me and him, I've liked this podcast. I've made some friends.
Yeah.
Like, I was kind of already, I was friends with Phil, but I think we've got to be pretty good friends. And we just go and we talk about life, and it's cheaper than therapy is what I tell him. Whenever I get something, he's like, you don't have to buy whatever I buy. He's like, you just come hang out or whatever. I'm like, Phil, this is cheaper than the copay or the therapy session that I just received, so we're good. And also, Adam West, me and him have been texting all week, show cards, and he's getting into some wrestling stuff. He's showing me some of his Kobe stuff. So next time we need to do a video, he wants to show us his background. He's kind of got like you. He's got a background of paraphernalia and merchandise and all that. So I said, next time, okay, you come in and we'll follow up with him here in about a year or so and see what's going on. But
well, like I said, your buddy Phil, he had some tax questions. And Phil, he's a real go-getter, and he says, hey, can I have you look at this? And I said, of course you can, Phil. And let me look at it, and I gave him a couple of pointers, some things that I think he should do here for the future. And he's, oh man, how much? I'm like, Phil, I spent 7 minutes. Like, come on, Phil. Like, you'll barely warm up to me in 7 minutes. You just get the engine going and that. I said, Phil, I'm totally good. He's like, oh, your time is so valuable, all this stuff. I'm like, Phil, I'm sorry. I have not been to the shop once this year. Like, I am a horrible human being. No. I'm like, so anyways, I did everything. I didn't even know, like, I was at an appointment and I come out and the gal that works out in front, she said, oh, here, this is for you. I'm like, well, what is this? And she said, oh, that nice guy Phil dropped this off for you.
Nice guy Phil.
That nice guy Phil brought me some cards and some penny sleeves. So
there you go.
Opened up the pack, ripped it, and of course there's that guy, Anthony Mason, right?
Edwards.
Oh, Anthony Edwards. I don't know who he is.
How's your bracket doing?
My bracket.
Did you even do a bracket?
I filled one out.
Okay.
I have some friends who put one together with real Venmo money, and I still haven't Venmo'd him yet, but it's a $25 pot.
I was gonna say why didn't you invite me, but then after my bracket, I'm like, okay, I'm glad you did. You saved me $25 because
It's a large. It's like I want to say it's probably close to 40 people.
that's a good amount of
So
money.
I'm like top 10, and overall points. Like if things roll my way,
Is it a all or nothing, or is it a breakdown first, second, third?
I don't know. I'm gonna say if I end up winning, it's an all or none.
Okay.
If I take third, I hope they split it up.
Well, I still got the Gonzagas alive. I'm glad I didn't go with our buddies Virginia.
Yeah, I know.
They got bounced. They got bounced early.
I got the Zags in the finals too.
That was a weird thing is, so if you haven't done a bracket, everyone's done a bracket, but when you can see everybody's chart,
Yeah.
everyone in our group, all but one had Gonzaga winning it. I've never seen, and I mean, we had over 10 people
Yeah.
at entrance. I've never seen
Everybody
pick the same team,
Yeah.
except for my wife picked Kansas, and last night that was that. So it was kind of interesting. So then you have to look at the Final Four and break it down and see where we're at. And I had Ohio State in my Final Four. So
That's nobody.
yeah. Anyway,
The real bracket was the Battle Bots bracket.
well, see, so that's the thing. Adam say something about his bracket. He sends over something about fighting robots, and you know me, Chris Jericho used to host Battle Bots. I'm all about it. Anything fighting or fake fighting or whatever. Oh yeah, he was in the early seasons.
I didn't know that. I'd have to. I wish you would share that.
I'm all about. Well, I was gonna make fun of you for it, but I thought I respect that.
I mean, it's a great show. Like,
Oh yeah, the kids built the robots.
Oh man,
You could probably buy you a battle bot on eBay,
that's a good idea.
or a kit, or if you're smart enough, put together a kit that you sell the kids. They build their own fighting
I'm
robot.
not that smart.
I'm talking to we got people listening.
Oh, okay, you're right.
It sounded like me and you talking there for a while, but we got people listening. They're like, I don't care. I don't whatever.
It's really weird because, like I said, we have done this for more than 2 years. Like the numbers are crazy. Like I absolutely appreciate every person who's listening right now. But essentially, we're like sitting in the car with like hundreds of people.
Yeah, they used to be going to work. Now they're not.
They're hanging with us.
I don't know. They wake up about 9, eating some old Tutti Fruttis because you can't get the Fruit Loops because kind of times are rough. Oh, I've got a Built Bar here. So they should sponsor us. I'm not even talk about the money I've spent on Built Bar.
I mean, it's heaven. Like everybody, if you use code Deathpiles and Taxes 20,
we need to talk to them.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
That's
I spent a lot of money. They had so they have these puffs.
Yes.
And we are just, me and Adam are just talking here, folks.
That's
Thanks for
all.
listening. We'll talk about eBay. We'll talk about reselling, but it's like a marshmallow-centered thing.
Yes.
They had a strawberry one that was really good.
Ooh.
But they do this thing, I don't know why they do it. It's just limited edition, and then they stop for 6 months. So when it comes up, you buy a case.
Do you not remember this thing called Beanie Babies?
Yeah, but I mean, you got a line of people just selling my stupid stuff. But anyways, they came out with a churro flavored one the other day.
I saw that.
Yeah, I had to buy me a case of that. I haven't even tried it, but I'm like, well, that's probably good.
Yeah, I mean,
As far as protein bars go.
all you have to say is the word churro, and it's got to be good. Churro.
Yeah, and I got just box of soy every morning. That's what old Derek grabs when he's going out the door.
It's great protein there.
That and I've been implementing oatmeal in the old diet.
Wow.
Yeah.
You doing all right?
Well, the doctors tell me I am, but I need 40 more years. I'm getting old. I'm
Just question.
kicking a few tires. I put a few more miles on that odometer than it's harder to resell. So.
Kind of like the car you still got down the street from me.
Hey, here's the thing. With the way gas prices are going,
Ooh.
with the stimmy money coming in and tax money, I went over the other day and I took some more pictures of it, but I haven't got around to reposting it. And I'm going to soup up the tire, because I just put generic, whatever. I'm going to go all deep. My buddy Colbert, my brother-in-law, he can wax eloquently when it comes to selling cars. He'll write, novels but he loves his cars, and he's got good classic. He sold his Lexus.
You finally sold it.
He sold his Beamer.
Oh.
They had to get a small, or they got a new baby, so they had to get a bigger car, but he wouldn't go with minivan. It's a whole thing.
I get it.
Anyway, point of the story is he writes just beautiful things about these cars, and I thought, I'm just going to write a little something about, gas prices going up.
Yeah.
No one's going to try to impregnate nobody in the backseat of a Prius, trust me. It isn't going to happen. You get good miles per gallon. You go ahead, and it's very cost efficient. I have it listed below Blue Book. It's a Toyota. It's going to run forever. The thing's a tank. Anytime you go to a major city and see the fleet of taxis, what are they? They're all Priuses.
In New York, they are starting to become Teslas, though.
Well, there you go. This is a poor man's. I'll put a poor man's Tesla in there.
Great.
Speaking of Tesla, I was driving down here, and there's a guy that drives a truck that lives down the street from us somewhere, but he parks kind of on that hill that goes up to our house.
Yeah, it's got the card carrier. Right?
It's got a car carrier. It's full of Teslas right now.
Oh.
And that's what I was telling Holly. I was like, there's like, hundred thousands of dollars sitting right there. That's pretty brave. I can go throw rocks or kids. You know what kids are like. Or I was trying to figure out a way to finagle one to just
fall off the truck.
Whoops!
Yeah.
I lost my key and my title, and the VIN number got scratched off. Can I sell this on eBay? I don't know.
You probably sell it on Reddit. You know how that is.
Oh, who doesn't?
I don't. I've never sold anything on Reddit.
Speaking of weird things like that, so Craigslist, right? A lot of people sell on Craigslist. Big thing with Craigslist has been yard sales. Here where we live, we have a different classified that a lot of people use, but for the majority of the country, it's Craigslist.
Yeah, we have KSL.
So we have a KSL, which is like a TV station.
Yeah.
Craigslist, for lack of a better term. But what they were doing is there was this thing called yard sale treasure map.
Oh, I've seen it. I've used it.
Have you used it? Well,
yes.
Well, now they've been discontinued with Craigslist, so people are pretty upset.
I would be too.
Because you could just load up that app and it'd show you every yard sale by you,
yeah.
and you just go around. So I don't know if they use KSL. I don't know how they were getting the information plugged in on around here, but there's different options. But a lot of people are wondering how they're going to find their yard sales because we're coming up in spring, and people are starting to get vaccinated. People are starting to get back out in society and what have you, and everyone's getting wrapped up for yard sale season, which I'm sure we'll talk about in the upcoming weeks. Because one, we're going to have one.
We are going to have a large one.
And two, I mean, the more I've been thinking, you can find some really yard sales are either all junk or junk and some steals, but the steals that you can find at a yard sale that you can pick up for $0.25. There's nowhere else where you can go spend like $0.25 or $1 and have a couple $100 return.
Yes.
So, anyways, the yard sale treasure map is no longer connected with Craigslist, and people are kind of upset about that. We'll see what happens. Craig is making his list more up to date or something. I don't know.
Doesn't Angie got a list now?
She's got a section. I don't know if they do anything over there with yard sales or not.
Well, I can tell you, we did have this discussion. We are beginning the process of cleaning out the basement. We're getting things together. We've got piles of items to sell at the yard sale. So great question here. What is the difference between a yard sale and a garage sale?
I think it's the area where you're from. I think it's like pop and soda. I think technically you'd have one in your garage or an estate sale in your house. Some people don't have estate sales when somebody dies. Around here we call them estate sales, but some people just call them estate sale, like a garage sale, same category. My vernacular is garage and yard is the same thing, except for technically one would be held in a garage or a barn, and one would be on your lawn. But an estate sale, garage sale, barn sale, all that. Just,
wow.
That's how I see it.
I got from that information. Can you spell vernacular?
Yeah, it starts with a V and then vernacular. Just as it sounds, Adam. It's just as it sounds.
Well, we are getting ready for the yard sale, garage sale, driveway sale.
I still have a tote of purses.
There is going to be a lot of stuff. I've got these. I'm going to have cards. We're gonna hit it hard.
You're gonna have cards at your yard sale.
Yes, we're gonna have cards at the yard sale.
You can't ask like $50 for a card. It's just not gonna work.
No, if I can get $40 a binder out of there, I'm gonna be well past where I'm at. I'm not gonna tell him. I've already pulled out all the good stuff.
Oh, that's what you think, and then you wait a week, and the rock tuna card goes for $10,000. I mean, you never know.
Well, I've got to have some cards, a lot of
bumblebee tuna.
What do you call it? Which made me think, because a guy bought some of my cards, and they're Gatorade cards. So I wonder if he was trying to get the whole thing together, because he bought my Jordan, the larger ones, and they're Gatorade cards. So I didn't really think about that till after the fact.
Promotional, it's all. I mean,
it was promotional. So I guess he should market it Gatorade, but no, I'm getting pumped because my wife is getting excited. We're going to work on getting the basement finished. So that's the goal, is we're going to get the basement finished.
Well, with the price of things now, you're taking on a good venture.
I'm hoping that we got a lot of money in the basement. We got a lot of stuff.
You can call that Disneyland for the kids?
No, the card money's Disneyland. Well, I've got about $2,700 in that account right now.
How many pots do you got?
Pots of what?
Money laying around.
I can spew.
Little leprechaun.
They're all over the
It
place.
is March Madness at Adam's
I
house.
like to put it in each little different direction. They've all got their spot.
I'm just going to start digging around your lawn.
I need some help. We got to find the sprinklers. Sprinkler time's coming up.
You got to find them?
Well, the problem is, like, the grass overgrows it, and it's kind of weird, so...
You got to get you a weed whacker.
I know, yeah, you're right. Anyways, I did a very technical map, because last season, like, it took me forever to find the sprinklers, and it really ticked me off.
Oh, you just turn them on.
I tried, but they grow over, and, like, it's...
You look for the wet spot on the ground, Adam.
You're right. You're better at finding
I mean,
the spot.
I can bring Aaron up and we can do this for you, but it's going to cost you.
That's the problem. That's why I took good pictures. So, back to I'm excited for the yard sale because I'm going to clean out some stuff and we're going to make some money so that we can finish the basement and go to dinner.
I drove up around your house and you got all these new houses going up around you.
We do have some new houses.
What's the feeling? What's the thought?
We're praying for the right kind of neighbors.
Yeah.
I know this might sound weird, but I like good neighbors.
Good neighbors. Usually the best kind of neighbors are the ones that live about 2 miles away with nothing in between.
That's true.
But I guess we don't have that option anymore.
I really like the nostalgia, Tim the Toolman Taylor Show, Home Improvement. I'm looking for a Wilson. That's really what I'm looking for in my life.
Good luck.
Like an over the fence,
luck.
just guy who just wants to listen and just shares knowledge. Kind of like you, but it'd be like Denny moving next door. That would be the
There
best
you go, maybe.
next door neighbor ever.
And maybe pitch it to him. Who knows?
That's a good idea.
You never know.
The problem is you got that steep driveway, and which, you're welcome. Snow came back. I got to use my snow blower on Sunday.
I didn't even complain. I came in here, I thought, I'm not even, because I come in here, that's all I do.
I was so pumped. I got to use the snow blower.
I
Probably for
refused.
the last time for the year.
I refused, and so Monday morning, he was going out to work at 5 in the morning with this guy.
And still,
I said, no, I got snow on the windshield. I don't care about the driveway. That will melt off. So I was chiseling it off because I didn't take it off when it was fresh powder, and my hands were cold. I was cold for the rest of Monday.
No, that's your fault.
It is. It's 100% my fault.
It came down. It was really nice. I said, I went outside to go shovel it, but it's so wet, and I'm like, I'm getting the snow blower out. The reason I bought this is to use it, so. I was pumped. It was a great day. I don't know. It just really made me feel like a man.
To use a snowblower make you feel like a
Yeah,
man?
it just made me feel like a man.
You shoot it over on the neighbor's lawn?
I tried. It wouldn't go.
The new neighbor?
Got a little. The lot's nice. It's good size.
Okay.
It's large.
Up on that hill, you must got more snow than me up where you live.
We did. We got a lot of snow.
I only got like 3 inches. You probably got a foot.
We're probably pretty close.
Making snowmen.
Maybe I want.
No wonder you can't find a sprinkler if it's covered with snow.
That's and it grows. You just
There you go.
join it, so.
You fertilize too well.
we are full of it a lot of times, so it just kind of gets around.
And if this first half of the show hasn't told you anything, it's definitely that we are full of it here on the Deathpiles and Taxes show. Adam.
This has been rolling, man. I'm enjoying it. I hope you are too. So, D-Roy.
I need to get to that build bar. Let's take a little break, and we'll pop back in. I got some stuff.
You do got some. I got some tax tips, and hopefully, I got some few things that people have been doing with their stimmy money.
That's Stimmy's hashtagging.
Well, it's taxes of death piles and taxes. It is that time of year. We're gonna have to do something. Uncle Sam wants his money.
Well, who doesn't want their money?
Well, he's got a lot of it, but we all got to put it in the system. That's the country we live in. So, need to file your taxes. Got questions? You want to know more because you're a reseller. It is a little more difficult than it is, especially if it's your first year. You're getting into it. You're going to get these 1099Ks. You can get information that you don't know what to do with, and we don't want you to pay any more than you have to. So, reach out to us here at Adam Up Accounting. You can go to our website and check us out on social media. We'd love to help you out. Like I said, we know the resale game. We're here to make sure that you pay your fair share, but don't go back to jail.
Adam, our friends over at Sellhound have outdone themselves. They're giving the Deathpiles and Taxes listeners an opportunity of a lifetime.
They're going to help us make some money, get rid of that death pile, get your items listed because you can't sell out of an empty wagon.
Man, sell all that you got, kill that death pile. When you go over to Sellhound, use promo code, capital letters, Deathpiles25 to save 25% off. of their service.
and get out there and start making some money.
D-Roy, we are back, and we are going to hit it hard and be serious this time.
Nothing but serious from here on out, Adam. I apologize for the way we conducted earlier and having a good time with everybody listening. It's time to prepare for bed, and we are going to put you to sleep with the information spouting out of our mouths.
That's all the other podcasts. That's
sorry.
not here.
Oh,
That's what happened.
shots been fired. Adam Beesley.
I had a little game I want to play. This just came up as I saw something on the computer screen. I do taxes for a lot of different people, and they all have different personalities, different end goals, different political views, different religious views. But the one thing they all have in common is the goal is to all try and make more money in different ways. And I wanted to ask you a couple questions about a few, ways to make money, and if you have ever heard about them.
Oh, I like this game. I was wondering if we're going to go over under on what people made compared to what their titles were. But,
No.
Oh, okay. I
This
like
one's
this.
just interesting.
Okay.
This one just came up. Do you know what a doula is?
Oh, a doula is somebody that helps you have almost like a midwife, or I think kind of like a life coach midwife type thing.
Wow. Yes.
Yeah.
Correct.
You know a doula?
I do taxes for a doula.
There you go.
And it's always that doula umbrellata. That's how you want to say it. I couldn't spell it, but that's an interesting one.
That's an interesting
I
one.
also have, and I think I'm probably talking, this is probably one of my favorite ones that I've ever had. Most unique, interesting. I'm going to give you the term, and I want to see if you can know what he does or what he works in. He's a harvester.
Harvester. Now we know he's a man.
Yes.
Harvester is going to be something with medical marijuana or cannabis.
Oh, close. No. The medical part, correct.
A medical harvester is somebody that's somebody that goes and gets the organs.
That's right.
There you go. You talked about him before.
He used to be an eyeball popper outer,
No, thank you.
but now he's a full organ donor.
You can't pay. God bless him. I'm glad there's somebody that does that. We need that. There's people that save lives because of that.
Yes.
I don't think you can pay me enough to do that.
The best part is he's in. He does his work in Las Vegas, so
There's interesting stories there.
I've never asked about the black market. I wonder how that might work.
He probably doesn't know or want to talk about it. If he does know,
That's true.
I listen to a lot of podcasts, and there's another one. Not going to say the title or anything because you're listening to us, and this isn't eBay related anyways. But there's a guy that calls in, and usually it's about guys that drive for a living, kind of like what I do, right? So it's just kind of a similar thing. But there's a guy that calls in, and he calls himself the Body Snatcher,
Oh boy.
and he worked at a funeral home and would go grab body, but he is creepy. Like, it's not a scary show, it's not supposed to be, but he is just creepy, and he tells these stories, and he's just kind of like a little off kilter. Putting it's nice because we're on the podcast, and who knows, him might be listening. Just a weird, creepy guy.
That's Derek Everitt saying that. We love you, buddy. I don't.
You snatch your bodies wherever, but and then he claims to be this big religious guy too. On top of it, kind of overzealously that way, which is whatever. But it's just weird. It's just weird.
I did have a new client that came in, and he's a trucker, and he goes from here down to St. George and back every single day. And I asked him, what do you listen to? And he says, I listen to scary stories. I'm like, you're a weird dude, man.
Man, I do too. You got to. There's certain things that you just got.
No.
The truckers are weird. And I've told you this before, and it's just the weirder. You got to keep yourself you're driving, you're looking at a lot of a different scenery, but it gets to be the same day after day. You keep that mind going. You got to listen to the Lard Bell, the Body. I listen to the stupid guy when he calls in. I don't skip ahead. I listen to what the Body Snatcher has to say, and that's why I'm like, man, that guy is creepy.
All right, so there's
Okay, there's another one.
There's another. That was an interesting one. I've been doing stuff for a lot of people in the entertainment business.
Do I dare go any further? What kind of entertainment? Are we talking about wholesome entertainment or more on the adult side of the entertainment business?
Wholesome.
Okay, well, you never
This is
know.
a PG show.
I know it's a PG show, that's why I didn't want to go too far, but everyone needs it doesn't matter what kind of entertainment you're in, you still need to get your taxes done.
That's very true. A lot of people had an interesting year in the entertainment business. Obviously, COVID was extremely difficult. They were one of the harder hit.
Now, when you're talking entertainment, are you talking like performers, or are you talking like?
He was producer.
Okay.
He produced a lot of reality TV shows. He also worked on different type commercials, different things like
Seems
that.
like you have some interesting people you can have come on as guests and talk to us.
I thought about that. He would actually be a really good one. We do have one client. She is a highly touted fitness woman. Amazing. She does wonderful things. She actually got a really good popular podcast. We like to take care of.
Maybe she could mention Deathpiles and taxes and get 10% off next year on her taxes if she puts us in commercials at first.
That's a good one. I tell you what, I really think
It's easy to spend when somebody else's money. Have you ever noticed that? Like you'll do something when somebody, you know what you should do with that? It's easy to spend anyone else's money, or for me to tell Adam, give them 10% off. I don't know. This might be tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of dollars. I'm just telling them, yeah, just give that money. This is not mine. I have no personal. Just give it. Your family, your house, your car, your mortgage. Just give it a little discount here. Get so we can boost us up in the podcast.
10% off.
Anyway.
No, you threw me off there.
Sorry, entertainment. You tell us some guests. You run down. We're playing this game.
Man, you just threw me off.
The fitness model.
I'm sitting here worried about how much money you're giving away from people.
Well, no one's claimed it yet. I haven't seen those.
I remember now that you have. I have really enjoyed the new clients that we have picked up from the podcast. It's been really interesting. So those who are the pirates.
There are pirates out there on
The pirates.
No matter where you find your treasure, you got to pay taxes, right?
That's right. There's been some really good new clients kind of from all over the country. It's been really interesting to find out. And I guess this is kind of a plug. The reality of it is, I see the real numbers. Like, everybody can pretend how much money they make, they don't make. Everybody, they talk the big talk. You don't know what the bottom line.
You know what that's called, Adam?
What's that called?
It's when you're flexing.
You're flexing.
You're flexing. That's why I put that song on the end of last week. We were flexing. We were talking about our cards. You show your cool stuff. You show people like to flex.
You're way into the flexing, which I need to remember one thing. I see the numbers when I do taxes. If you have even contemplated, if you are willing to work hard, I can promise, because I see people doing it, you can quit your day job and sell stuff online and net 40, 50, 100, 150,000. It all depends on how hard you want to work. So it is absolutely, positively possible in so many circumstances, because I do their taxes.
And they're not just selling. We talk heavy on cards and sports stuff because that's what we're doing right now, currently. But the people that he's doing taxes for, they're not. I mean, you guys listening, you know that there's people in all sorts of things, but from clothing to
retail arbitrage,
Amazon, thrift stores,
yes,
all that. So
Etsy.
This is just where we're talking. I mean, I think people listen and think that's our only window. We enjoy talking about it. It gets me and I'm excited. It gets us listing. It gets us reselling. But yeah, if you're listening and you're like, well, I'm never going to find a Michael Jordan rookie card. There's no way I can make $100,000 this year. No, there's lots of avenues.
I did kind of put some people on the, what do we call it, the trio, the trio of places up in Layton. They were all excited because she has her own eBay store, and we got talking about reselling and stuff, and I told her about it, and they were all excited. They were
let's get her on the show.
Tickled pink excited.
We need to do a get together. We need to figure out when we're going to do this. I guess it's still TBA, but since the Owls aren't here, we're not going to have our baseball game this summer. Which good riddance to them. But
so
we still like to get together and go up to the big three.
The big game, the big three. I did another invite to the Jazz game, so I'm kind of excited about that.
How about Christmas gift go?
Which one?
The one you bought for me to give to them.
Yeah, I've got it right here. I wanted to wait till I got one of the good Donovans back, so.
Okay.
I got some Donovans, but I want to give them a.
Hey, what happened with the 121 cards?
They are sitting in the closet.
So none have sold.
Not one has even been listed.
Okay.
I haven't even pulled them out of the boxes.
We'll keep moving then.
Last
week you were excited. I thought I was going to see how many.
The problem is, literally, I mean.
I know you're busy. It's tax season.
First favorite Brian, he came by to see him, but I was in appointments.
Oh, there you go.
I didn't even have.
First favorite Brian, who won the contest last week from us. Congratulations to Brian. He said he'd bring me a pizza. I got that card for you. It's going to work out.
Yeah, we're kind of all over, but I just really reiterate the things. You can make money doing this. That is absolutely like, I've learned to make money at. Derek is making, he's always modest about it, but he's making a substantial amount of money.
I don't always flex, but when I do, it's in the right direction. I don't know, some
Yeah,
phrase.
He makes some doll hairs on some of these things, because that's the whole idea. We wouldn't be doing this unless we were really a part of the game.
Or at least trying, right? I'm sure there's people like, I mean, obviously there's people that are like the Bill Gates that are way above us, but then there's also people just starting. We're in the mix,
Yeah.
and some weeks we're doing better than others, just like everyone.
We get it.
But we're in the fight. We're in the hunt.
We know exactly about it, and I think that's kind of, I don't know, I'm not, when people will call me, like, I understand the resale because I do it. Like, I understand cards because I do it. Like, I totally get it, and I understand the ins and the outs, the things that they should be spending, should not be spending.
And that's why you get a good accountant, whether it's Adam or not. We talk about that all the time, but there's a lot of people that, okay, and you'll see it in the resale groups if you're online anywhere, they're going to do their taxes, they're all nervous, they haven't done it before, they've been avoiding it for years and try and sell underneath that threshold so they can try to hide the money, blah, blah, blah. We talk about that. But a lot of them, they go down to H&R Puff and Stuffs. I was going to say Block, but I won't. Or they go to, Daryl's accounting or whatever. And there's good people doing it, but like they don't understand what you're doing. And so you're like, yeah, I sell on eBay, and they're like, okay, well, that's kind of a hobby. Where's your numbers? What, they don't take the time. They don't do the deduction. They don't know what you're into. Or like, oh yeah, you sold a few baseball cards. Okay, well, whatever. And like, no, there's deductions. There's a lot of things that go into it. You get a guy like Adam, or you get an accountant that understands reselling, which there's a few out there. But that's worth the money there that you're going to be saving from the guy that gives you bad advice or just, way overcharges you because you're a business. When your business is you and your wife driving around to yard sales.
I'll give you a perfect example of exactly what he's talking about. I had a client who did his own taxes. Yeah, he got some letters saying, hey, you didn't claim all the money you said you made. What happens is when you get a 1099K or a 1099 NEC or a 1099 MIS, like MIS, M-I-S-C, they changed the name. But most of the time what happens is that is a gross number. When you get these fees taken out, for instance, if you're like have something on Amazon, those numbers are not always going to match up because what that number says and what number you get in your bank account are two separate things. And you have to know that because you always have to report the higher number. Just because it didn't go to your bank account doesn't mean you didn't make it. And that's always a big number that I'll have to ask people. This guy did it, his return, he got a letter back saying you understated your income, so I had to re-put it in. I'm doing the same thing right now. I had to ask him, I'm like, hey, this isn't matching up. Are you sure your numbers aren't higher? Oh yeah, that's all I put in my account. I'm like, no, that's not what it is. So unless you have somebody that's going to ask that kind of a question, I can promise you your taxes are going to be wrong.
And it's the same if you're working for a living, you work for somebody. What you get in your paycheck compared to what your stub says you made, it's a different number because taxes come out. We all know that.
Taxes come. I'll show somebody. Oh, you made 75. I make way more than that. Well, you're right because you have health insurance. You have your taxes that come out. There's a thing called Social Security, Medicare. You also have a retirement plan. You have like vision. You have all of these other things that you don't even realize. So that's what. The better you are to understand that at a young age, the better off you're going to be long run.
I got a question for you, Adam. And this is a reselling debate topic here.
Ooh, debate.
But there's pros and cons. We live in a smaller community.
We do live in a small community.
Now, for resale purposes and for making the most bang for your buck, if your goal, and I guess it depends what your goal is, but if your goal is to just be free, like you want to get to where you have zero, and you can essentially you can retire, right? Like either that or just no debt. The goal is zero. Is it smarter to live in a small community and be able to try to achieve that goal? Because usually the further out from big places you live, the cheaper housing, things of that nature are. But the more scarce are the resources, so you're going to have to go source somewhere. Or should you live in the big city, you have smaller limited space, but you can find more valuable things more readily. I can't talk again.
I will tell you what. Your boy, $100 Bill, is doing the exact right thing. If he moved to Pahrump, You're an hour away from Las Vegas. That is crazy huge. It's less expensive to live out there. You're an hour and a half away from things. So if you want to, you can drive it. It's completely separated. I think, living somewhere that's close but not right there. Because when you're recent, you don't really care. You don't have a problem driving an hour and a half to do something because you like to. That's the thing, is you like to get out, you like to see different things, you don't mind driving. It's all the hunt. And I think that's kind of the different mindsets. Some people, they have to take the same road every single time. They have, this route that they take, and they might time themselves, or they might know Mrs. Johnson walks by at 5:13 in the morning to take out her truck. They just know that. Where I like to go a different way. I like to kind of see different things, and I think if you're willing to do that, it's usually less expensive if you live away from it. But then go drive to it.
I'll come back to that, but what you said right there reminded me of something. When I started this job, I've been driving for a while. I've been driving a long, long time. But I started with this company about 5 years ago. And so when I first started, I'd have my boss come in the truck with me. We'd go up to a different location, and he'd just kind of show me that location, make sure I was comfortable with everything, knew where everything went. And one day we were driving back, and I said, "Hey, where's that road go?" And it was, we're going through, it's through Salt Lake, but it's kind of an outskirt, but not, it is, but it's kind of like a suburb, but whatever. He's like, "Oh, I have no clue." I'm like, "How do you have no clue?"
What do you mean?
I'm kind of like you, and I'm like, "Oh," and he's like, "Yeah, why?" I said, "Oh, I just like to know where things are." And he's kind of got talking to me, and I said, I'll do the job. I'm going to be on task. I'll drive. I'm going to do my thing. I'm not going to go goof off or whatever. But I like to have 3 to 4 ways of getting to a place, like I do, and that's how I am. And kind of the same with you, going home. I like to know if the freeway's shut down, or if it's slow, or if it's a snowstorm or whatever. I can get off this exit, I can get there without coming back on the freeway, or if that's looking crowded, I can go, up a street, or even driving around Vegas, right? I don't live in Vegas, but we spend a lot of time there. It's kind of close to us. It's usually summer or whatever.
They have a wing named after you at the casino.
They have a wing named after, I should be how states have the flower and the whatever? I should be the official donor of Nevada. Me and Pelican, or maybe, throw my grandpa in there. Me, Pelican, and my grandpa, the official donors of Nevada. Mesquite. But one of our favorite sons returned. People like to go. Well, the first time you're there, you go down the strip. It's cool. You see everything, but it's bumper to bumper.
Yeah.
It's a mess. And so now I know you go on, Cobol, or there's the one on the other side. There's ways of getting around. You can get the casinos on the strip without touching the strip, and then vice versa. Your Tropicana, your Sierra, all that kind of stuff. I like that with my own town. I like that with my own area. I like to be able, and now my wife likes it now too, because we'll go for these rides. I'm like, "Hey, okay, we need to get home. How are we going to get home? But without hitting this road or that road." It's a fun little game. But like you're saying, with reselling, it is fun because, especially during the summers and when things are, you might hit some yardies. You might see an old store where you're like, "Man, no one's been there in 20 years. And you go in and it's like, "Oh, there's some good stuff in here." So, I just kind of think the way housing and things are and prices, if your goal is to own a house or to become somebody who can buy some property and stuff, I think you do got to venture out. And, you might have to become a little more small town type. But with that, you get the property, you can put up, storage areas, you have room to put your death piles and stuff. But I'm with you. You have to be close enough to a metropolitan type area that you can get in and get some stuff, or you just source online. I'm kind of that way too, because you just get some.
You can do both.
You can do it both.
Yeah.
You can be successful either way, but I'm kind of with you on that. I guess it depends what the goal is, right?
I would tell you the one thing that I have learned, and I don't know, over the last, however old I am now.
50.
Yes, close.
The last half century, this is what Adam's learned.
Just enjoy what you're doing that day. I know it sounds crazy, but I look forward to different things, different parts of my day, different aspects. Enjoy the moment of what you're doing. If you haven't tried something, go try something new. Go to a different place. Like I said, go look at something, because you won't know unless you try it. And I guess that's kind of the whole idea, especially now. Things have become so readily available. So the internet has made the world flat. There's so many other possibilities.
That's the hot take, Adam, on the flat earthers.
me and Chris Colombo. But if you had can you imagine some of his stuff, what that'd be selling for on eBay?
Yeah, not touching it.
No, is go out and see different things. I mean, that's how we found, this house that we bought. Like, it was a for sale by owner. Like, if I wouldn't have called on it, it wouldn't have happened. Like, and again, I go back to the whole way I met my wife and the 5 years of rejection. Like, I'm okay with it. Like, same thing with the ecclesiastical vacation night. I got a lot of no's. So it's like, how many no's do you have to get before you get a good yes?
And it all depends what you're doing, right? That's like the salesman creed, I think, is like,
Yeah.
no just means not yet.
That's exactly what it is. When does that mean? And like I said, it's fun. Like this is getting out and trying different things. It's learning. Every time you do something, you're becoming smarter for the future you.
It's kind of like sauerkraut or kimchi.
Oh man, love it.
You wouldn't have thought you'd love it until you try it, though.
On top of a pupusa, like it's a game changer.
And there you go.
So the same thing, like I said, when we talk about the Robinhood, this online financial stuff. I started doing a year ago. Like, it's not that long ago. I mean, there's other people who've been involved in it for a lot longer than I have. Same thing with like my regular traditional retirement. Like, I don't know, I've always had my own business. I've always put money into real estate and other things, and I've never had one. And now I'm like, wow, this is like just like Derek always said, a slow nickel instead of a fast dime.
It's my boy Clark Howard. I've always gave a shout out to him. I wouldn't have a 401k, a Roth, if it wasn't for Clark Howard, because the places I was working just didn't really offer it. I didn't see, I'd never get old or need to retire. But he struck it to me one day, and so straight from the mouth of Clark. But the people and just the way society and everything, we all know how it's set up right now, is business owners are the ones that get rich in our society. If you look, it's a big controversy, but like, two people pretty much have 40% of all the money in America right now. Elon and
Jeff.
There you go. So the point is, the top gets the wealth. Well, we can't all just go and start a business necessarily, or maybe we don't want to. We can't all just go buy real estate right now, or maybe we don't want to. But if you break it up and buy small little portions of it, you put it in your Roth or your 401k or whatever, over time, you're buying into companies. You're essentially becoming part owner of those companies. That way, the money's going to start flowing to the owners of the company. So that's the way the game's set up. You might not like it. You might not like the politics of it or the economy of it or whatever. That's the way it is, right? So in order to be able to retire at some point in your life, which is a goal for everyone, because there's no one that wants to be working at 80 because they have to.
You only want to do it unless you want to.
If you want to be selling on eBay, if you want to be, pumping gas, doing whatever, that's cool. But if you have to go and put on that vest and welcome people to Walmart,
then it sucks.
It sucks. So start putting a little bit away. There's plenty of programs and plenty of ways to do it. But the reason is, you want to spread it thin, and cover all your bases, is because, the economy grows. You can look up the numbers. But over time, it grows certain percentages. If you have that money, your money's going to grow certain percentages. It's fun to buy individual stocks. We talk about Robinhood. We talk about all that kind of stuff. And every now and again, you hit a home run. But for the most part, you're playing craps. Like, it's fun, but, is it long-term investing? Not really. It's speculating at best. But if you get some of these accounts, you can, buy different. I mean, there's they're called RITs. REITs.
Yes.
And you can buy them in, if you want to invest in whatever you want to invest in. If you want to invest in cannabis, you can buy it to where they buy the top 50 cannabis stocks. If you want to do it in real estate, commercial real estate, banking industry, oil industry, the 500, the NASDAQ, wherever you want to do, just put a little money away, pay yourself. Because I tell you what, come here 10, 15 years, you're going to be putting away, 200, 300, 400, whatever a month that you can stock away. You're not going to really miss it, and it's going to add up.
That's the same thing. I just had a conversation with a few clients today. Is now, most people like do their taxes for 7 years and pull up their 5-year forecast. They're like, wow, how did I go from 88 to 120,000? Like, I'm like, well, what'd you do? They're like, I don't know. I'm like, well, what do you mean you don't know? I don't know. And I says, well, then what you should do is like I said, put more money into retirement. Depends on how you look at it, Roth or traditional. I like a blend of both, but I want to make sure you're maxing out the traditional first, because most people in that situation, they're in the 27% tax bracket. So look at it this way. You can put aside $10,000 and it will cost you $7,300. You just saved $2,700 in taxes. You've got an instantaneous 27% rate on return on your investment. But where else can you get that?
You can't.
Nowhere. So he says, and if you start doing that right now, as you continue to increase your income, it's weird because now you say, well, I have an extra $500 a month. Like, you told me that, 10 years ago, that would have been everything. But, now as you age, hopefully you make more money. Like, it just isn't as much. And if you put that money right into retirement, then by the end of the year, you're like, wow, I put away $15,000. And you didn't know because it's just already gone. So
it's just there. That's the thing. If you have an employer and they have a 401k match or anything like that, that's free money sitting there.
That's the same thing I talked about. Everyone's different. Like I said, some people take the same road at home. Everybody, go out and take different. I could never work for anybody. I just...
You'd be a good truck driver.
I would be a good truck driver. That's all
they can't work with others.
I can't work well with others. If I did, I'd have my own trucking company, but I don't like that. That's too much work. I learned that anyways. I just feel like if you're going to play the work for the man game, like you said, maximize it. Like, go in and get that money. Go in and get those bennies that they're going to give you, and put them to the most. Like, put in 19,500, and 30 years from now, I promise you, like, man, remember when I listened to those guys and they made me finally do it? You're welcome.
Well, you're in your mid-50s and you can retire because you got the money there, or you have the option. And it's a lot better, not that I'm there, but it's a lot better to know, like, you're going into work and they're going to tell you whatever, and you can just say, no, that's not going to happen. And what are they going to do at that point? Like, okay, well, you're out of a job. Okay, I'm good with it.
See ya.
Well, what do you mean? Yeah, this is what I'm going to do today. Like, you direct traffic a little bit, but you have to get to that point to where you have that financial backing. I won't call it what the kids call it, but it's we'll call it forget you money.
There's a book about it. I'm listening to it.
The forget you money, and it gets to a certain point where you have some leverage, and it so happens the more leverage you have, the more respect that you kind of get. Apparently,
yeah.
I'd say, if you're young listening right now, I know we have people reselling that, especially if you're in your early teens or 20s.
Perfect example. Put money into an IRA. You don't have to work for the man. You can put money away and save taxes just by doing it.
Or open you up a Roth, and that money's going to compound, and when you're Adam's age, you're going to be glad that you did it.
You're going to be getting close to retiring. And here's the thing, we talk about it, reselling, like there's so many different ways to make money, and especially making money online, whether it's,
Playing poker.
Harvesting eyeballs. There's a lot of ways.
A fancy YouTube channel.
That's right. If you're having fun doing it, I don't know, that makes my job a whole lot better.
Oh yeah, people come in to do their taxes and they're excited to tell Adam what they do versus, I work down at the ship station and I pass along ships and I don't give a ship no more and I'm tired of the ship. Like, no one wants to. Then you're miserable and Adam's like, why is this guy even in here? It's just bringing me down. So
I have those clients. I have one today that I haven't seen for years, and it's like, it's like we're best friends. You go into the conspiracy theories. You go into the deep dive. We had some good conversations about what's happened over the last 6 months. So
the lizard men are coming out of the ground.
And there's another one he did today. I forgot about that. And that was, it's good. It's
the guys are out hunting Bigfoot.
With guns.
Well, what else would you find a Sasquatch? How else can you bring him down?
A wrist rocket?
It's got to be a pretty powerful wrist rocket.
I know lots of guys with powerful, yeah. Well, we've kind of been all over D-Roy.
This has been a kind of a fun episode. We got some more guests. I kind of like the guests, but I like that we can come in and do it like this, or we can kind of change it up. Working on a few things. We always are. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. I am going to start doing on YouTube's. I'm going to try to do this. I bought one of your setups like that, but my phone's too fat. Because I got the old, they can drop it off, because I'm, in places that can get dropped and
break. It's too fat.
It's too fat, just like me. But it is well loved, just like me. So, I'm going to try to do this thing to where I start recording, because I'm buying a lot of cards and stuff, and I don't want to come on here and spill all my beans. But if you want to come over on the YouTube and see what I'm buying, what I'm doing, I'm going to start putting, because I kind of I've been watching other people that do this. It's kind of fun.
It is.
It's kind of, I don't know if it's a flex or not now that we're talking about that. It kind of is. But if you want to see what I'm buying, what I'm opening, it's kind of fun to open. I'm going to be opening my mail.
You have some phenomenal mail days.
I'm going to be opening mail and just not only showing what I have, but explaining why I bought it. I was going to start that this week and just have it be kind of up there, but my phone's too fat, so I need some like elastic bands or, you know, what gastric can I give to a phone? I don't know. I went over to Walmart.
Lap band.
I came home with this kit, and I had a few other things, and my wife's just looking at me. And it was like my wrestling figures, my kit about being a selfie star, because it's how it's set up, you know. And I'm like, and I kind of explained it to her, and she's just looking at me. Like maybe I think I'm going to be this big internet, like, blogger kid star or something. And I'm like, no, I'm going to record me opening my mail. So, which sounds like I'm out to get the government and if the post office sends me something, right? And I'm like, no, put it up on YouTube, which sounds even crazier. And I'm just like, I don't. And she's like, how much did it cost? I'm like, it was like $30. Okay, I thought it was a few hundred or whatever. It's your money, it's your business. Like you're running your eBay, whatever you're doing, whatever. But I'm just like, no, I mean, it's fun. It's not weird. I mean, people enjoy watching what other people are buying, what they're selling. I don't want to always be holding the phone and trying to cut with scissors. That gets dangerous. It gets shaky. I said this way you don't have to come hold the freaking phone while I'm doing it. And then I'm like, come in closer, whatever, you know. And then we fight for a half hour afterwards about how tight the shot was or was not, or if I was wearing my shorts or if I should have been wearing my slacks. This way it's all on me, Adam.
I will have to say, I think we're to that point in life and culture. Like, it's interesting to see what other people do. Like, it really is. It intrigues us, and I think that the reality is turning more into a real reality, an unstaged, and don't get me wrong, these people, some of them know, like they dramatize it.
Well, of course I'm going to know what's coming in the mail.
Yes, but
I'm not going to know in which envelope.
but there is this thing. I had another client, like, he's blowing up on Twitch. I mean, there's multi-billion-dollar platforms that other people watch people play video games.
Which I should have got into.
Like, I mean, your boy Rudy Gobert, like, he's a big deal. Not only is he tall, but he's also large in charge on Twitch. So there's a lot of ways that people can make money. So
there's a lot of ways to skin that cat, as they say. I don't know why you want to skin a cat, but there's a lot of ways to do it.
I don't know either, but try it. Try something.
Well, here's the thing. Our YouTube, I get this a visual thing. We get some listeners over there and some people on the podcast, and we love you all. But I'm trying to engage more and get some more stuff over there. I thought, well, that's a visual. That's easy. It's an easy edit. I just put it up there and it's done. So that's the idea. You open the card.
I usually try and do my Wednesday wisdom videos, and last week was kind of a doozy. I had a lot of stuff about the new Stimmy.
You save the Wednesday wisdom?
Oh, yeah, I save them.
Let's put those over on the YouTube, too.
We've got them, yeah. We can throw them.
We'll post them up over there.
We got them on Instagram, Facebook, but I don't know. It's just creating that legacy of D-Roy. That way, we'll always have his forever wisdom.
Here in a couple hundred years, when they try to wonder what happened, where it all went wrong, and they come back, they'll see me.
Who were the?
This is a interesting fact. This was a 1989 Tatanka card. Now, it's a WWF Classic, and I'll tell you why. If you look in the corner here, now Tatanka went undefeated for the first run.
This is when the world ended.
Now that's when people will be like, oh, that's where it came from.
Yeah.
It's Deroy Everett here,
Our
Deathpiles,
life
Texas.
sucked so bad. We wanted to watch this guy open up wrestling cards.
It was even better when you get them back put in plastic from a PSA company.
We're really watching this bozo talk about accounting stuff. Man, when did life suck?
It's like, yeah, this guy's just crunching numbers. So
It's all content. It's all just at time. It's capturing what's in interest you. So hopefully this continues to interest you. We appreciate you listening this long. Like, this is where
and if you're still here, go ahead and give us the subscribe, the review, the like, the comments.
We see the numbers. If you could have told me 2 years ago this is where it'd be at, I wouldn't have believed you. It's awesome. It's really phenomenal. So we appreciate every single person that listens. Hopefully we've given you some hope, some joy, some laughs, some cries. And there's two things in life that are for certain, Derek.
Those would be death piles, and they would be the taxes.